Are we live?
We are live.
Oh, hi everyone. Sorry.
No, tell us about it. I did just go live so people could start filing in so that they didn't think we canceled the webinar at the last minute, because I feel like I lose people when I don't start on time. So I see a few people are starting to join. But yeah, tell me about.
Well, hi everyone. Welcome to what is this? Reinventing branding?
Yeah, well, this is Hindsight is 2020. So it's our webinar series, and you guys are a special webinar that we added in.
Bonus.
A bonus, right? A bonus webinar. And we're going to talk about consistency is key. So you're launching Series 3. So we went through Series 1, which was managing expenses and finances and laying the foundation of a healthy, good business. Then Series 2, we just ended yesterday, which was about staffing. So how we hire, how we train, how we inspire and retain good employees. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to be going into the marketing segment. So welcome everyone. If you weren't able to join us live today, know that we're recording this so you can watch it at your leisure. Also, we'll be sending out Barry and Jenny's top tips that come out of this presentation. And Jenny, you have a PowerPoint, right?
I do, yep.
And we'll send a copy of the PowerPoint as well as the Cliff Notes version. So if people don't want to sit through the whole recording, we make it super simple and send out a Cliff Notes version as well as your contact details so that they can reach out to you directly with any questions and connect. So we're excited because you're going to be launching our webinar Series 3. We have one more series after this, but you know, we're getting into tough times because people are starting to open. And as you know, there's a lot of great content out on the internet and people doing some amazing webinars. But I was really, really pumped and excited to have you both here, you know, speaking to our audience and our greater audience on the web, and we'll send it out to our email list as well. So welcome everybody. Welcome Jenny and Barry. Tell us a little bit for the people that are listening about each of you, your experience, which is vast.
Well, we have that in the actual presentation.
Oh, okay, great.
We have a whole slide about ourselves.
Oh, good, okay. And what you do as Lipgloss and Aftershave, which is amazing.
Awesome. If you want us to start with that, I can open the presentation, and that's like literally our opening. So let me get, it's happening to me, host disabled attendee screen sharing.
We do.
I've been doing that to my panelists too, Julie.
Everybody.
Now, Marianne was supposed to make sure there were no problems.
Wait, what did she have?
She had a baby boy.
The best.
After a day and a half of labor.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Day and a half.
Adorable.
Perfection.
I'm telling you, there's no baby worth a day and a half of labor.
He's perfection. There has not been a social media announcement yet, so I better not send this out.
Oh, don't say anything.
You heard it here first.
Luckily, she's not here, so.
What's his name?
Christian William.
Oh,
yeah, he sounds like a leader already.
Are you going to call him Christian, or is she going to call him Chris?
You know, I was going to ask her and I didn't. I've been calling him Christian, but I wondered how she felt about shortening up to Chris. So at least I could figure out how to get Jenny as a co-host without Marianne.
Perfect. I would have walked you through it because I've been doing that for the past few times. So let's not be too hard on Marianne. Um, so we start out all of our presentations, Julie, with this slide, LNA Now, because we have recently launched a webisode series of educational content. So we bring on industry experts and educators, and we keep it focused on topics. Yesterday, we just did one on acne. We've got CBD coming up, and a lot of the times they are associated with brands so that they can recommend specific treatments. But it's a very cool new series that we have launched post-pandemic, and it's been doing phenomenal. So we definitely encourage you guys to follow along with that, which we'll show you where you can get access to all of that fun stuff in a little while. So who we are, Barry, who are we? What is lip gloss and aftershave?
So the funniest thing in the entire world was when we first decided to do this, we did a video. We created a video of ourselves. And Jenny was terrified to talk, and she wanted like a script. And I was like, just talk. And she said the most amazing thing organically. And that was 3 or 4 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. And it became, like, I love it. I use it all the time now. It's a destination. Lip gloss and aftershave is a destination for skincare pros, spa professionals to come and get really honest information about products. You will rarely hear us dog any product that's on the site, only because if we don't like it, we aren't working with it, period, end of sentence. So you're gonna get our honest reviews on products that we love. And if you don't see them on here, we probably don't love them. And if we don't know about them, let us, like, if we don't know about them, we're always looking to try things. But there are things that we try and we're like, not so much. So we also bring to it a little bit of, a little edge. I've always felt that the professional skincare industry was just a little uptight, a little stodgy. And I think that was a byproduct of it being born in the salon environment, and so like the esthetician always had to like set themselves apart from the hairstylist who's more artistic, more effervescent. And today's esthetician, man, she's down with it. She's fun, she's hip, she's really like open, and she wants a little bit of fun. So we decided to add a little bit of wit and sarcasm. And our destination is twofold. We have a website and we have an app. The mobile app is really robust. And we decided to put a lot more technology into the app simply because we see app technology as the future. More and more people are accessing our site, our emails, everything through mobile. And so, when it comes to navigating web, no matter how much you want to design a mobile-friendly website, app technology just works better on mobile devices. So we decided that we were going to create and invest into an app to offer our community a destination to go to where they could read, learn, and shop. So on our app, you can read all of our articles, all of our reviews, and there's so many different things that we offer. We have seasonal guides, we have dedicated articles from brands, we have tons of editorial content starting off with our advice from our experts every month. And then I write a lot on the topics every month, different ideas. Like this month is acne, so I've written 15 acne tips. I've written how to use microcurrent for acne, how to use LED for acne. And so you can get a lot of information. You can search any brand or any product on our site. There's on our app, there's a search bar in the bottom. And then we have VIP exclusive offers. So you can go on and look for deals from sponsors of ours, and even people who aren't sponsors that are just looking to like expose a new product or offer something special. So all of this in one easy to use handheld, where's my phone, handheld destination. So we love it. And that's kind of in a nutshell what we are. How did you, Jen?
I think it's perfect. I think you nailed it.
Okay, cool.
So now we can tell you why we're here and who we are. We started Lip Gloss and Aftershave 3 years ago out of a need. We saw a huge gap in the professional skincare world where there was no influencer, and I I struggle with that term all the time because it gets like such a bad rap.
Yeah. It's like a love-hate, right?
Exactly. And we were working with a brand, and they were looking for an influencer to talk about their very scientifically based product. And, you know, I was reaching out to all of these, and I can say girls because they were very young, and these girls couldn't explain any of the science behind the product, and they did not know how to relay the information. And so Barry and I looked at each other and we were like, why don't we do this for these?
Actually, that was my line. That was my line. I was so annoyed. I was like, why don't we do this? And then she had the genius idea of the dichotomy.
Because Barry and I mean, it's like city, beach, man, woman, mom, single. Like, it's just this really cool duo. I mean, we are literally a dynamic duo that come together, and Barry's got tons of experience, 20 years of experience in the spa world. I am an esthetician.
So do you, by the way, now. So do you.
I know, I probably shouldn't throw out those years.
Talk about that? Thank you. Thank you.
So we bring a lot of background to the industry. So I'm being covered by these screens, but we are now web show hosts. That was L&A that we spoke about earlier. So that's very exciting. I'm an esthetician. I am a spreadsheet geek. So I am a planner. I'm slightly anal and organized, but we keep the show running that way.
Which we love. We love. We desperately love that.
We need. So that's why I appreciate, Julie, your all of your business building webisodes that you do, because a lot of estheticians, like, we need that focus, because we're so creative behind the treatment room door that it's like running a business can be a really big challenge. So it's I find that to be really, really valuable to the estheticians that I speak to, is like telling them how to stay organized. So that's my scoop. Bear, what about you?
So I started in the industry by accident. I met a friend of mine was working at a spa, and I met the owner, and I really loved these products that she was creating and selling. And so I started selling them for her, and I got them into like Henry Bendel on Fifth Avenue. She was like, "You're kind of good. We have a business here, and I need you to help me run it." So I took a chance, leap of faith. I left a job in New York City, moved to Philadelphia, took like a 70% pay cut, and started running a chain of spas. After 10 years, I became a VP. Lots of things changed after the recession of 2008, and it was just no longer viable for what was once a chain of spas that became a single unit again to have a VP. And so I was like, you know, it's time for me to just sort of like move on. And so I kind of like went out on my own, and I started consulting. And through consulting, I found that I wanted to become a photographer, and I found that I had really good talent for writing. I started speaking at the IECSC to just sort of become part of the industry and, you know, meet people, networking. And then I started consulting with brands and distributors, and that's when I met Jenny at a specific brand that we both worked at. And then we started Lipgloss and Aftershave. And now we're here to tell you how to make sure that your branding is consistent so that you can grow your business really organically on the interwebs.
On the interwebs. So here we go. Oh, why does it do that to me, Julie, if I click out? There we go. Go ahead, Bear.
Okay, so you guys are here investing in your future because you're taking the time out to like grow your business, and you're looking to, Jen, can we slow that down?
I know, it's on that auto, you guys. I'm sorry, that's my fault.
All right, so you're here to learn more. You want to grow your skills, and you want to grow your knowledge. And so in order to do anything, any kind of growth, you need to invest into it. So that's why you're here. Now we can go on, Jen.
Okay.
So everybody, like, the thing that I love the most is when I'm seeing all of the estheticians, like, cause I'm friends with so many esties, and, you know, we follow so many, and these spaces are beautiful, gorgeous facilities, treatment rooms that are stunning, you know, the best skincare lines. Like, you know, Julie, at Spa Hive, you only have the best. You've got your Hydropeptide, you've got, you know, Circadia, all those amazing brands are there. So like all of the people that are in your hive have these amazing products. And you know, then you come on board with like Hydrofacial, and you have these other products that are, or these other treatments that are coming. So they're offering these incredibly famous treatments. So these are things that are really important about your brand. These are things that help to enhance it. And this is everything that you all have in your business, and these are your assets. But with all this knowledge and all this prestige behind you, you should be successful, right? You think like, I'm offering Hydrofacial, I have Circadia, I have Hydropeptide in my business, I should just be successful. But that's not right. It doesn't matter how much you know, it matters how many people know who you are. And so there's a theory behind this, and I have a little bit of a philosophy, and I think if I'm correct, this is really hard for me because Jenny gets to see what's next and I just have to know because I can't see her, I can't see the next slide, but I think the next slide is, okay, so if you have customers, if you have no customers, you have no business. Your customers are part of your community. And for us, community for your business is everything. I don't call them customers, I call them a community, because your community consists of people who support you but may not be able to come. Like, you know, that like long lost girlfriend from high school who moved to the other side of the country, who loves your business and will share your stuff, but like, she's not really a customer, she's your community. You've also got your account reps who are part of your business. You've got people who are leads who know about you but haven't come there yet. They're all part of your community. Like Julie is part of every one of your community, but may not have ever stepped foot inside your building. So you just have to talk to your community.
And reference them as your community. How much more welcoming does that feel than my clients? You know, it just makes, I don't know, it makes you feel welcome, and it makes everyone feel included, no matter if they're your client lying on your treatment table or not.
So Jenny found this when we first went into business, this quote, and 80% of consumers start researching a brand online before making a purchase. And I have a question that I'd like to poll the audience, please, in the chat room. I would like to know, because I'm very curious. Hypothetically, you see something online, like a new toy, a new store, a new restaurant, a new product. Where do you go to learn about it? Online. What's your first step? Like, do you have a first place to go? Julie, what do you do?
I put my answer, I put Google.
So Google. All right. So
right, the first thing is I'm like, oh, let me learn more about this, and then I go down a rabbit hole.
Oh, totally. Jenny, where do you look?
It depends on what it is. If it's a restaurant, I go to Yelp first. That's like my number one. And there's, you know, what's formed that I found really, really great is a lot of Facebook groups throughout quarantine have formed like very specific Facebook groups. And I think that's a phenomenal place to start, whether it's about products or restaurants that are open in your town. Skincare, that's an amazing place to go. That's what I do.
Love. My favorite place, the first place I search, Instagram. I always go to Instagram first, and I'll even Google the name of whatever and Instagram so that I can get their Instagram, because their Instagram really is, like, I have found that businesses really make Instagram a hot spot for them because it showcases who they are, it shows their personality. It has
it's a lookbook, right?
Like, and it has all that contact information in the profile.
Everything you need. And
what if you're looking for something like a spa to go to and you can't find them on Instagram? What's your perception? Or, you know, you're going to stay at a hotel.
I think there's something wrong.
Yeah.
I don't love that. If you're in business today and you're a consumer, but if you're in business today, you need an Instagram account. You need a Facebook page and an Instagram
100%.
account and a website. Otherwise, you're not real.
Yeah, like I can't imagine a hotel that didn't have that.
Right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so here
we go.
Totally set myself up for this one. And I didn't even know it was coming. So, okay, in the past, you guys, like when I first started in the spa world in 1999, Julie, are you with me? Where were you? College?
No, I started in 1997.
How old are you now?
I'm turning 49 in October.
Welcome to the club, girl. I'm 50. All right, so
I'm not 50 yet.
own every second of those 40s. All right, so you guys, when I first started, like, we were like, we're gonna get a website. Oh my God, a website. Like when I first started, Google wasn't a thing. Like if you didn't know the name of the URL, the exact whatever it was typed out perfectly, you couldn't find them. So you have to understand how like consumer behavior has matured over the past 20 years in that it used to be consumers scoured your website because it was literally the only option, but not anymore. Oh, I have to move my little doohickeys here. I moved them to the top so I could see it, and now they're stuck. Okay, so consumers are part of your digital community that connect with you on all digital channels. Let's go, Jen. So, and you could do this now. You don't have to be stuck at home with a dial-up on AOL. Remember the AOL CDs where you had to like put it into your computer? Was
10
that
hours,
noise?
you only get 10 hours.
Right? How about the noise? How about the noise? Right? And then you only had one phone line in your house, and then you'd be online, trying to get online, and your mom would pick up the phone and then cut you off, right?
You're like, Mom, I was in a chat room.
But now, like literally in line at Target, you can be figuring out your next purchase, your next dinner, your next spa visit. So just remember this is how important.
As I was getting ready for the webinar, I did my hair quickly. I was shopping on my phone because I had to pick up some seafood later today. So I was logging on here to make sure I was on first and there was no problems. Ordering seafood to be picked up at 2 o'clock and
doing your hair. Yeah. Yep, I believe it. I believe it.
So now your business, it can grow based on the viral aspect of social media. Like SEO is great, but you know, in order to get really good search engine optimization, you gotta have a lot of skin in the game. You have to invest a lot of time, a lot of time. You have to be super strategic, and truthfully, for businesses that are the size of most small day spas or even single unit SDs, it's not something, I don't think it's viable for a business of that size to even worry about. So I'm saying SEO, let it go. Don't even worry about it for your size of a business. If you're not pulling in $1 million+ a year, don't even worry about it. So if you have dynamic and engaging content on your social media channels and your community is commenting, I love that spa, I love that facial, oh my God, that product is amazing. If they're not liking or sharing your content, well, if they are, this is gonna give you viral exposure. People are gonna see it, that girlfriend from high school is gonna share it, and then somebody in her Mommy and Me class are gonna say, oh, I'm gonna be in New York, and I saw that you have a friend who has a spa there. We were thinking of like doing a little spa day in New York. Can you recommend her? So you just got a new customer because your girlfriend from high school who's in your community who never comes to you shared your post. Yep. So this is how it all works. Let's go, Jen. So this leads to growth. There you go. I'm so good here. Now, we all know Bill Gates, super rich, super successful. Bill Gates once said if he were to spend his last dollar, he would spend it on public relations. Not so much, Bill. Sorry. I'm here to tell you that if I had 10 minutes in every day, and if you don't have 10 spare minutes where you can multitask, like Julie was doing her hair and her makeup and then shopping online, if you have 10 minutes to spare, I'd spend it creating something really crazy for social media. really, really innovative and fun and exciting and interesting for social media, because I have, like, there's one word on this thing, and my lineup of the 3 pictures of the speakers are right over
blocking it.
It's community. And isn't that a great picture of Jenny? Like, I took that in New York at the IECSC trade show, and I'm like, that is the best picture. And like, it's our community picture. It's what we use to develop community.
It was such a moment. We were standing there at the Step and Repeat right before you walked into the trade show at New York. This was 2019, obviously. And this group of girls, they were like taking a selfie. And I said, you guys, we're running the social for IECSC today. Like, let me get your picture. I'll post you guys on their account. And they got so excited. We were tagging each other. Like, everyone was so involved. And that right there, they felt like they were part of a community at that point, because we cared enough to like involve them and tag them and get them on the bandwagon. So it was fun, and it worked.
All right, so now your community is out there floating on the interwebs. You've got email community, they're on your email list. You got a social community, you have a website. Your community needs tangible, physical attributes that they can identify with, and it helps to unify them. Like, this here is a baseball jersey, right, Jen?
I can't. Julie, do you know who the Eagles are? Do you know what they play? What sport do they play?
I know that they play football.
I
Agree.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure. I thought baseball players wear different shirts than that. I don't know who this player is.
I'm hoping everybody's paying attention. So if you want your community to feel uniform, they need uniformity. They need to feel safe so they can get their guard down when they hear your message. Because you ever have somebody walk up to you on the street? I live in Philly, and so it happens a lot. There's all these like people on the street who they just approach you and start like trying to get you to donate money to like all different sorts of charitable contribution things. But like, as soon as they come up to me, my guard's up. And they have to work to overcome that, and then they can get into their message. Whereas if people don't have a guard up, they'll automatically be open to your message.
And I just want to point something out. I feel like right now I'm seeing a lot of posts from #skincare community of people talking about skin influencers, these skin influencers that are the people we referenced earlier in the presentation that may not be professionals and may not know what they're talking about and may not be telling you the truth. So that's why I think so many, even consumers now, your community and your clientele has to have their guard up, because it's like, well, what's this girl's background? What does she know what she's talking about? Does she even do skin? Is she familiar with any of these products firsthand? But if they see you and they recognize you and they recognize your message, they'll keep reading and they will not have that guard up. So I think a lot of social media has created this guard because we have to sift through, and I should say all media, we have to sift through kind of what's real and what's the truth and who's presenting it. So just wanted to point that out.
And when you get to influencers who have like millions, high hundreds of thousands of fans and followers, just so we're clear, you need to be very suspect of anything that they are promoting, because it takes a lot of money to promote with them. And so when it comes to a lot of money, the brands that have the largest amounts of money, it's like an inverse relationship. Brands with the largest amount of money for advertising usually have the lowest quality ingredients. And so like, you know, when you see like micro influencers, smaller influencers who are talking about things, they're more approachable to lower budget brands, and higher quality cosmeceutical brands, on the most part, have smaller budgets because their distribution is smaller. So beware of those big flashy influencers and pay attention to people like us.
Of course.
Okay, so this is a question. This is better in person because we can pull the audience, but I guess like I want you to think about a time before there was GPS. That's number one. And then
when we drove around with those books that we had to like open.
Triptych.
An atlas.
Do you remember the triptych?
Triptych before your trip? Yes.
Oy.
I often think, how did I ever get
Anywhere.
Without
Anywhere.
opening up an atlas? Happy said, love the triptych.
I know, right?
We're like, I'm going to the Grand Canyon. Let me have AAA send me a triptych.
I know. I remember that. That's so funny. Okay. So my whole thing is, okay, so I was in Rome in like 2003. And if you've ever been to Rome, it is insane. Rome is the oldest city on earth. Not really, but like it's old. And like, there's no rhyme or reason. When you get into central Rome, there's no rhyme or reason to like how it all works. And I got lost. And Happy, yeah, it is insane. I don't know how people do it. On those motorcycles, girl, do you remember those motorcycles just whipping around? So anyway, you're out there and I got lost. So think about the time you're lost and you're like, you get this like low level anxiety and you're like, shh, like, dog, what's going, like, where am I gonna, like, what's gonna happen? So think about that low level anxiety that you had. When you're searching the interwebs and you're floating on the interwebs and you click on a link on Instagram or Facebook, and then you're taken somewhere else, where are you being taken? How are you gonna know it's safe? Are you gonna put your credit card number into this place that you don't know that you've just been taken from? That's the thought. Like there's a joke in 30 Rock. It's the best TV show ever. And there's a joke that says never go to a second location with a, like in a hostage situation, never go to a second location. So this second location is scary because you don't know where you're going. But think of it, there's something that you recognize and then you instantly feel safe. Now, I'm biased, so as soon as I see a Starbucks logo, I feel safe. I feel like I am home. I feel like my people are around me. I can go in. Well, I mean, you used to be able to go in. I think eventually you'll be able to go in again, but like you can go there and be like, where am I? But you know, it doesn't really work in today's society because you just open your maps and you're like, oh, I'm right here. But the point is like when you see something that you recognize, you instantly start to, okay, I'm good. So that's why you need to be consistent with all of your branding on all of your digital platforms. Every single piece of content needs to be consistent.
Consistency is key.
So, this is a game that's hard to play. So
virtually.
But you know what, Jenny, if we take it a little slower, maybe what we could do is let them put it in the chat. All right. So, okay, first one, let's play a game. Ready, Jen? Name that brand.
Here we go.
So what is this brand? Put it in the chat. Got it. Coke. Thank you, Happy.
Good.
What's this brand? It's a blue can. Can we just talk about the fact that you identified a brand because it's a blue can? Like insane. But it's that color blue. What's this? This is my favorite one, y'all. Who knows? Come on. No, this is not. It's not a C.
Gucci.
Thank you, Julie Pankey.
Ah.
What's this one? Lucy. There you go, babe. What's this one? Come on. Who like? Anybody? Mercedes, thank you. How about this one? This is a little tougher. Yes, you got it. This one? Yes. NBC.
Way to go.
All right, so now these are the things that you want to take a look at when you're thinking about branding. Do you look like, can you identify your business just based on art and text? So
colors, logos, like
yes.
all of that. Can you, is it consistent? Like, do you see like one shade of blue and then another shade of blue and then a darker green when you send out your emails? That's what we're going to get into here.
Okay, so this is us. And that's
this is actually registered now. We need to get the logo with the registered trademark. We're really excited that we've grown so big that we registered our logo. So super exciting. But this is us. It's neon, it's pink, it's blue. These fonts are now registered when used together. But it also speaks volumes about who we are. So it's like male, female, like soft cursive, blah, blah, and then like a more structured, maybe
I'm the soft cursive, blah, blah. She's the more structured.
That's the amazing part. So this is the core of our business. This is literally where we started and built everything from this. We took that into everything on our website. So go ahead, Bear.
I'm feeling it. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. I'm going to take a break. I'm tired of talking.
This is where we keep we keep everything consistent, but this is your number one. So your headers, your footers, I think, yes, here we go. So we have this soft gray text that is included in a lot of things. And we also have a brick wall that we incorporate into a lot of our branding. So it's like this soft, it's never like harsh black. We don't really incorporate that. But everything's consistent. Our logos are on our picture. Someone even made the heavenly, they're called heavenly head wraps. What were they called?
Heavenly linens. It's right.
Heavenly linens. And she even branded it for us. It was the pink and the blue. Our website's super clean, super, modern to an extent. So we like to keep that looking consistent. And this has not wavered from day one. Our social. It carries over and translates into our social. So we have this little clipboard thing, which actually this imagery right here is the same thing that we use on our backdrop. And I'll show you a picture of that. So we created this identifiable sign.
You may recognize this from our initial slide where it said reviews with a hint of pump and sarcasm, with a touch of wit and sarcasm.
Exactly.
It's on this. It's on this layout.
On that as well. So your social should look the same. Our email communication, we literally have the brick wall. We took our logo and reshaped it into something that we call Hot Topics. It's an email we send out every single Monday with all of the hottest topics that we are talking about. So that translates again. There's our backdrop. So when we do attend events in person, we have this massive trade show, booth backdrop. And again, it's the brick wall, it's the logo, it's the clips on the sign. So people can recognize us from wherever we are. Once again, digital events. So we've been hosting all of these webisodes, LNA Now. So this, it's the clean, the modern, the softer colors, the pink. Oh, looks like I used black there. Uh-oh.
I used black, and and you know why I used black? I specifically had to, because I used the darker gray. Sometimes, absolutely, you definitely want consistency, but sometimes you have to fluctuate to what works. I used the darker gray, and you couldn't read it against that background. So I had to go into black, and I didn't mind using the black, only because if you look in this picture, and I did this strategically, look at the frames, look at the fringe on the throw, and look at the vase of the plant. It really pulls it together. Plus Jenny's wearing black in her image and I have a black face mask on. So it worked. So if you're gonna deviate, you make sure that you deviate in a way that fits the space. You can still tell this is us. You can still see Jenny, you can still see me, you can still see the brand, you can still see the pink. But we had to deviate a little bit.
Our app.
Yay!
And this is something that's really cool because the app developer we worked with, they took all of our images. They took the brick wall, they took our logo, they came up with these icons that we got to select from that matched. It was just so consistent. But Bear, tell them about our app.
Okay, so the app is, I kind of overly explained it at the beginning. It's definitely something that you want to download. It's easy to download. If you can't, it's just search Lipgloss plus Aftershave on the App Store or Google Play and you'll find it. If not, go to our homepage of our website, scroll to the bottom. There's a link there to get it. Amazing.
I believe the next slide might, oh no. Okay. Later on, I think we have a video that shows you guys how to use it. All right, look from behind Barry right now. And it is literally a different color wall, but the exact same setup.
Okay, because I had a white wall in my apartment for 100 years. And I finally decided to take the leap and paint it. And the color that I picked, I hated. And I didn't even finish it. And I had, I had swatches taped to it for 6 months. Jenny looked at me one day, she goes, pick a color and paint the wall. I'm sick of this. And so I finally picked the darker green, which I think works.
Yes, yes. And that has become, well, at one point that was it still is the studio. It's just not our studio at the current moment. But we would do all of our lives there and all of our photo shoots there. So it became, I mean, part of our branding. It was literally like our backdrop. So we kept that consistent too. So maybe at your spa, you pick a very specific room where you film any videos or demos from to keep it consistent. Okay, switching gears. So when you are starting to create content, so you've got your brand down, right? You've got your logo.
I'm gonna step away for 1 second.
You've got your logo, you've got your colors, you've got your fonts, you've got everything picked out, and you have them saved in a file so that you can consistently reference those hex values for your color. That'll make your life so much easier if you keep that written down, so that you don't have to search for that specific color every single time. Now you get to create the fun social content that will stick with your brand. Here we go. This is the most current and up to date, I think, with the exception of like the last 3 posts on our Instagram. So you can see our fonts translate into even our social media posts. And we keep our conversations consistent. So when we do photo shoots, we like to keep them consistent throughout, you know, that season, that month, that topic. So everything with this orange pop flower comes from our summer skincare guide. So we keep everything there so that you can identify like, okay, if it's got that orange flower, it's probably in the summer skincare guide. We've got the font on a little video right there, the one that says acne. That's a video that we created with lovely pictures of Barry and I as teenagers. But again, it's using our font, it's using our logo. What else is cool in here, Bear?
The headband.
Oh, the headband. I didn't even think it's in the picture with Jack. So this headband, my mother sent me this headband years ago and I loved it. It's the best. It holds everything back. And it started making an appearance in some of our pictures, all these selfies.
And then people started commenting on it.
Taken on a life of its own. I need to like brand these and sell them. But now my husband, which is the top left picture up there, is my husband and my son. And Jack wears the headband. There's pictures of my husband in the headband. So that has also become part of our branding.
My famous line is the Nagel family portrait is lit. Like these people got to glow like nobody's business.
So these are just some ideas, but you can see everything is pretty consistent. Like there's not some glaring photo that stands out like it does not fit in our feed. Here's another few examples. Let's see, what should we talk about on here? There's sliders.
No, there's Drew in the headband in the top corner.
Oh my God.
There's the orange flower in the summer skincare guide.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Everything's there. So it's like you guys, once it's established, you don't even have to think twice about it. It's like, it is what it is. And it becomes so easy to just make everything look so cohesive. We'll get to another slide later on that shows you how we create some of this content. The slide that says we choose hope. These are things that we create. So we'll show you guys what we use for that in just a minute. All right. I think prior to this, Bear, we had also just talked about different types of Instagram content. If you guys have questions on sliders or videos or, you know, funny memes, I mean, we like to keep the content mixed up that matches our personality. So we post funny little things. We create videos. We create a lot of Instagram TV videos where we actually demo products and things like that. But that's for Instagram. And on Facebook, you can kind of take a bit of a different approach, right, Bear?
Yeah, so on Facebook, like so we obviously publish a lot of articles, and this is an editorial article that I wrote for a couple of, well, I noticed that within 5 minutes of the pandemic happening, so many brands pivoted to producing hand sanitizer because they were already FDA approved labs. so they could produce hand sanitizer and continue to function and fill the need of the like diminished hand sanitizer supply in the country. And so I was like, well, I want to like talk about the fact that these brands are doing this. And so I wrote an article, and like, I didn't have any products to photograph because nobody was able to send any out like ASAP. And so I'm like, what kind of cover picture am I going to use? And I was like, the whole point of the conversation was, I always thought that like 99% alcohol would be the best in anything because it would kill everything. But apparently it was only 70% was the magic number for percentage of alcohol in a hand sanitizer. I thought that was interesting. And so I made that the topic and was like, who knew? And so it was me in the studio. So it was like sort of a branded shot because we use that, we use pictures of us in front of that. Well, mostly a lot of me in front of that graffiti sign. So it's pulling in our brand there as well.
And I want to also just point out, you know, we may have a slide that talks about this conversation, that if you're not comfortable being the face of your business, I think you need to kind of get over it. Just like when Barry said, you know, at the beginning, when we were filming a video, I wanted a script. I wasn't comfortable. I was like, oh my God, I'm scared. But you're the reason you have a community, right? You're the reason that your business exists. So you need to become the face of your brand and just step out of your comfort zone. We do so many presentations on creating content. Some of them may be in our app actually, but just step out of your comfort zone and become the face. Like, we didn't have a picture of hand sanitizer, so Barry's the face of the article. Like, it just works.
And like, eventually you'll start off and you'll be terrified to talk on camera and you'll like never ever want to do it. And then eventually you'll like kick your business partner out of the screen and take over. You will.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you will. It's all good. It's all good.
Here we go. So once again, this is actually a current giveaway. So all you pros, get out there and sign up for this. You can win an entire 9-ounce new free hair removal service center. It's this perfect size warmer where you pour new free. It is not wax, but it is another version of hair removal that's soy based. It's amazing. I've been using it for 20 years, and they are giving away an entire kit. So when I put these giveaways out, we do giveaways every single month. We take the image that we love, we post it on social. It's just this cohesive thing, and then it lands back to our website and just makes everything connect. Here's more.
So I'm obsessed with Justin Timberlake, and I love how people take his lyrics that actually sound like other words and use them, like on May 1st. When it's, you don't even have to put any words. You just put a picture of Justin Timberlake up on May 1st, and it's gotta be May, and like everybody knows it. But this one we loved. Every little thing I do never seems enough for you. And like, how many times have you answered the phone? We have an availability tomorrow at 2 and at 4:30. And what does the client say? So nothing in the morning. Every little thing I do, it's never enough for you. People love this. Like, have fun with your social. Keep it branded, keep it fun, and they'll engage with you. And like, the more they engage with you, the better your engagement algorithm becomes with Facebook and Instagram, and they see your content is more valuable, so they end up showing it more.
Exactly.
So this one's really funny because DMK, I don't know if you guys know DMK, they're an amazing brand. Julie, are we ever going to get them to Spa Hive? We love DMK and we love Spa Hive. I think they'd be perfect.
I don't know. I hope so. I'm going to try this year still.
I think they'd be great. So the thing that's funny about this is you can't really,
I know.
In the video, I'm wearing a DMK shirt and so is Drew. And so like, one of the things that we love is that DMK is all over their branding, and like they send us all shirts. So every time I do something with DMK, I always have their branding shirt on. And so it's like those kinds of things that you can do for your business to keep your brand in front of your customers. Like, one of my favorite things for skincare businesses to do is to private label some skincare. You can't live off of private label alone. I mean, unless you're doing tons of volume and you have a really large, vast client base, you could probably do it. But if you have like a really strong skincare business, you pick a key product that works really well for just about everybody, and something that's really, a good product, high quality, and then you private label it with your brand name on it, your web address, your information, and it's something that get it to so that it's as many clients can use it as possible, and it becomes like a business card on your client's vanity. And so, like, if you look at in our VIP offers and you look at our summer skincare guide, we are working with a brand called Global Beauty Private Label Skincare. And they've got some great deals on private labeling, like literally you can buy 18 units and they'll give you like all of these perks along with it. And they've got an acne product in the VIP exclusive offer. And they've got these unbelievable resurfacing pads in our summer skincare guide that are like 3 kinds of acid and like a bunch of different botanicals for brightening. They smell amazing and they're really good at stripping dead skin. Yeah. And so this would be something that you can private label your own name, and then your brand is literally sitting on your client's vanity.
Yep.
And the profitability on private label is stupid.
Here we are again in more videos where we are branded. I set up the trade show booth in my dining room for our virtual skincare festival that we launched right after IECSC was canceled. So right in March, we just pivoted and we I made a booth in my dining room, and Barry's in the studio, which is the other version of our studio. Really, it's our branding, and we carried that on. So it's just consistency, you guys. And we're just showing you all these examples to show you we do it every single time, everywhere we go.
And we just need to give an honorable mention to Jenny's husband and son for enduring that for 2 days of her being in their dining room for 9 hours straight and them not being able to use their home at any point during those 2 days.
It was 4 days because it was 2 weeks of that. So it was 4. Yeah, props to them.
On the second set in April, didn't you move downstairs to your office? Yeah, you should have. Yeah.
There's the pink bow. So I had done a demo of a product. It was a brand new launch from Mad Skincare, their charcoal peel off detox mask. Amazing. And I just winged it. I put the mask on. I'd never used it before. I set up my video camera, recorded it, had the pink bow in because obviously I'm in my robe and I don't have the backdrop behind me. But again, you just see consistency over and over and over. And that was a really cool video. You guys should go to our Instagram TV and check this out. It comes off flawlessly. It's a cool one.
I was super impressed how you got it off. I remember seeing that. It was a while back, I think. But yeah. I was like, let's see. And then I'm like, holy moly, she got it off so good.
And that's one thing I'll say, because you can't plan that. I was like, this could work or it couldn't. Like, I'd never used the product before. And the fact that it came off seamlessly the very first time is remarkable. So I always say, if you're doing something like that, record it. I didn't go live with it. So if something horrible happened, it wouldn't have been broadcast, but record it because it could turn out to be one of your most viewed videos. And
it actually is our most viewed Instagram TV video.
I'm telling you guys.
And Mad TV they took it and they're sharing it. And so like, it's just viral now.
It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. I think this is just showing that you can also share content from other publications that fit within your messaging and fit within what you're talking about for that month, that time frame, and what you stand behind. But you can definitely share.
For example, if you are using, I don't know, a product or a treatment that you see on Lipgloss and Aftershave, you can take that article and you can share it on your own social media to let your customers know what the product is, why it's so good, what the treatment is, why it's so amazing, and then we'll help you get your customer in the door.
And you don't have to write a thing. Just let Barry write it for you. That's what I do. apps that we use to create all of that content and keep it consistent. I would definitely say Canva is number one. Bear, you are like a Canva master these days.
So Canva is a life changer. And, you know, I come from a background where in 2002, if you wanted to create a sign for your window in your spa, you either had to be an expert in Adobe Illustrator and you had to purchase the Adobe Illustrator, which was thousands of dollars. And then you had to get like all of this education on it. And then you had to have a really big computer to be able to store the, program on your hard drive. It became its own job. And in fact, it was a job called graphic designer. And we would pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars every month for a graphic designer to make a window sign, then to make a sign we would make little postcards to hand out. And then I would need something for an email template to put into the email. And then I would need him to create it so I could put it into an ad in a magazine. And it was like, every time this person changed the size of something, it was an invoice, invoice, invoice. And what happens is, like, it becomes really expensive to have really beautiful graphics. And so you couldn't really compete as a smaller business. But now Canva levels the playing field, because Canva will allow brands, businesses of any size, to have unbelievable graphic displays. And all you need to do is learn how to manipulate text, images, and then how to layer those things on top of one another. You can literally go and say, I want to make a Facebook post, an Instagram story. It has those sizes already set. And then you put your images in for $12.99 a month, which is like maybe 3 Starbucks visits. I mean, for me anyway. You can have the ability to use their images. You can have the ability to create one piece of content and then use their resize option to turn it into another piece of content that will work easily for you. So if you're looking at creating a header for your website, maybe you have like a slider on the homepage. So you need a slider for the homepage, and that's one size. So you make that. And then you just click resize, and then you select Instagram post, and then you adjust it a little bit to make sure that you have an Instagram post that matches your slider, then resize that into a Facebook post, and then you resize that into an Instagram story. You have the same quality branded look on all areas of your platforms. Exactly. And it's remarkably easy. And so I highly recommend it. It's changed the way we are able to do business, because it's the amount of graphic work that we do. Our graphic bill with a graphic designer would literally be in the thousands of dollars every month. So it's making us immensely more profitable, and we have the ability to compete with brands that are much larger than ourselves. And then Jen, you use the rest of them like crazy.
The other ones are very mobile specific, you guys. So HypeType lets you take an image, put text over it. You can do the same thing in Canva. Adobe Spark lets you, I like that one for an image with animation. So you can do that one strictly, well, I believe strictly mobile. That's all I use it on. Unfold is a way to make the stories, your Instagram stories, very beautiful and templated. I prefer to keep our Instagram stories a little more raw and a little more unfiltered, but I've seen brands do beautiful things with templates in their Instagram stories, and they're gorgeous. So that's a program that can help you do that and stay branded. And then Font Candy, another similar one to overlay text on a photo. Oh, now we can talk about, I think this is a video. Hold on. We created all this in Canva.
By the way.
I love Canva. Same thing. I mean,
It's
we use
amazing.
it every single day.
Yeah, every
day.
day.
Circadia, Jewel. And just so we're clear, I created the video in iMovie, but all of the slides I created in Canva. And then I just imported the slides into the video. So
I think the best way, Jules, we don't mean to just like cut it off, but that's it.
That's it.
That's all we have. But you guys, we have a Facebook group called Spa Love, a beauty business mastermind. It's something that I mentioned earlier. That's a great place to go to pose a question to the community, to search for different topics. So you guys can absolutely join that. And you can find us here. That's who we are.
I love it. Does anybody have any questions for Barry and Jenny? You can drop them into the chat there. I think, did I see any questions come through? I guess my question might be for people that want to know like where to start. So, you know, they're a day spa owner or, you know, a small boutique hotel owner, and, you know, they're doing some social media. So they have Facebook, they have Instagram, but you know, time is difficult, you know, dedicating the time to be able to really create that community, you know, create content that's not just promotional, but, you know, educational and community building. You know, so if you were to give them, you know, one tip as to where to start, what would it be, you know, to build it bigger? Rather than just a place on Instagram.
So you're looking for tips to growing the community? Is that your question, Jewel?
Yeah, essentially, you know, where should they spend their time? You know, should they spend their time, you know, creating content, creating graphics, how do they engage, you know, their community a little bit more? You know, sometimes they'll post, I think, and, you know, there's not a lot of engagement, you know, so what are things that, you know, they should do? I mean, if they just have a static Instagram account and a static Facebook account that they, you know, post periodically on,
so
where should they dedicate their time right now first?
Okay, so I think that the most important thing is that they create a brand identity. And so they come up with fonts that they're always going to use. They select colors that they're always going to use. And those are what they use when they create content. That's number one. Number two is they have to have a story, because all social media is an opportunity to communicate, to tell a story, to engage in conversation. So you need a story. Then you need consistency. You have to post on a regular basis. Like, you don't develop a relationship with anyone by never calling them or never texting them or never hanging out. Like, you develop a relationship with people by communicating on a consistent basis. And so you need to have, and you need, like, think about it. Like, who are you going to want to date? The person that shows up on a regular basis and behaves in a consistent manner, or somebody who behaves erratically, and every time they call you, it's a different sort of like amount of drama and a different way of communication. You're going to be like, hi and no thank you. Hard cancel on that. So for me, I think that the way we have technology at our fingertips today, I would recommend estheticians, spa owners make social media their first priority, because what happens is you walk into the business, and if you're not like 1,000% strong on organizational skills, I'm gonna be frank, I know that most of these small businesses are opened by people who love skincare and have a dream and aren't the most top level business executives. And so a lot of times when they get into their business, they sort of get lost in trying to run it. And so I think that before you start your day, you should really focus on creating that social content for the day so that you have that out there. And a lot of things that I have seen are business owners, estheticians using video to communicate to their consumers directly, talk to them. And they'll use that, but then they'll also use a lot of third-party content. So like you carry Circadia, you carry Hydropeptide, you carry Hydrofacial, you have a built-in database of social media posts from that brand from the door. Mm-hmm. So you can just share that content and then add in your own personal with a little bit of who you are, a couple of posts that you make in Canva about what's going on in the business that month, and then you talking to the camera. And so I would say those are my things. Jen, what are your thoughts?
And just to build on that, I think, you know, consistency is key. And the easiest way that I think will set you up for success is just plan a month at a time. I love planning a quarter at a time, but that's asking a lot to launch from. But plan a month. What are you going to talk about? Okay, so June, we're talking about acne all month long. So every single thing we do, we try our best to relate back to acne. Sometimes today, you'll wait and see our post for today. It's a little different. It's a little off topic from acne, but it also ties into something else we're talking about. So if you have a focus for that month, it will make it so much easier for you to streamline the conversation so you're not scrambling for content. So you can you can repost from the brands that you work with. You can do short little videos of yourself or like, you know, selfies if you'll get more comfortable. And then maybe if you're talking about acne, find funny acne memes and share those to get your engagement up. So as you're starting, I think sharing content is ideal so you can kind of get your feet wet and get in the game, and then you can slowly start working on, you know, if you take an hour a week to plan things out, that's not a lot of time, and it will save you so much time from scrambling to find content to post and to create. So those are my biggest things, is plan.
Love it.
That's awesome. And, you know, Lucy commented, Lucy has an inn. She's located in Sonoma. And Lucy, you are the celebrity of your business. I mean, I follow Lucy on social media, and she was in like a charity ballroom dancing contest. I swear to you, watching that and seeing the videos and all, you know, you are your brand. You know, people
Exactly.
come back to the hotel and to the inn, you know, for you, you know, for your personality. And so that playing up those things. So definitely follow Barry and Jenny, although, you know, they're in a slightly different business than, you know, the hotel and innkeeping world. It all is the same, you know, doing branding and creating content and creating a community that's going to follow you, you know, whether you're Lipgloss and Aftershave, you know, or a boutique hotel and inn, or a day spa. It's all kind of the same foundation, and the same rules apply. So I know we've gone a little bit over. Thank you so much, Barry and Jenny, for joining us today. I took notes. I thought it was awesome. There was so much value in this webinar that we're so grateful. Please follow Lipgloss and Aftershave. I'll be following up with a recording of this webinar, as well as contact details, so that you didn't have to take notes or re-reference this, so you can get to the app, the Instagram, the Facebook, and also their contact details so you can connect with them personally. Have an amazing day, and we'll look forward to seeing you next Monday, our regular day and time for our webinar series, which will be 3 p.m. on Monday. And we're going to continue with a deep dive into marketing.
Thank you so much, Julie.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everybody. Bye.